Hi friends, welcome back or welcome to the channel. If you're joining us for the first time, I'm T of Crumpetty and Sewing here on YouTube as well as on Instagram. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you my pattern review of the newly released Simplicity S9550. So if you are new to sewing and you don't know anything about Mimi G, which I highly doubt that you don't, you can always go over on her channel and see the sew-alongs for her patterns. Most of her patterns, she always posts sew-alongs, so I will try to remember to put the sew-along for this particular pattern in the description box below if it is available. So with all of that said, let's go ahead and get into today's review. All right, everyone, so for the Simplicity S9550, this is a pattern that has several different variations within one envelope. So you have a pair of shorts, a maxi skirt, and you also have a top. So the top have two different variations. You can select the variation that has the open back and it has ties on the back of the neckline in the back. So it's a deep V for your back, or you can select the variation that does not have that deep V, but you have just a little slit up at the top just so that you can actually pull the top overhead. So it's a really modest slit. I highly doubt that you would have to do any modifications or variations if you are concerned with modesty or anything like that. The pattern also comes with grown-on sleeves, and you can put elastic at the end of your sleeve. You also have the bottom lower portion of your top. You can put elastic in your top as well. Now, I will say this is a crop top, so if you are someone if you're concerned with that, this probably wouldn't be the pattern for you. I did lengthen mine by 2 inches, and I found that the 2 inches was pretty great for the length that I wanted because I didn't want to show my midsection. However, it did create a bit of a bubble effect in the center of my garment there. So if this is something that you want to do, you might want to consider how you lengthen the top or how you decide to wear the top. If you want to put elastic at the bottom, or if you just want the top to just hang off the body. I think next time I would definitely choose the hanging off the body method and just hem the bottom of my top without putting any elastic in the bottom, just simply because I think it will make it so that the midsection would definitely not show, and I won't have to worry about the bubbling in the center of the garment. I also made the skirt for this as well. The skirt is a maxi length skirt that has gathers at the front of the skirt. You have a really nice wide waistband, which I absolutely adore. And then you have a zipper that goes at the center back. The pattern for the skirt is only one pattern for the skirt front and back, and then you have a pattern piece for the front waistband and a pattern piece for the back waistband. So you only have 3 pattern pieces. You have 3 pattern pieces for that. So for a Mimi G pattern, that is phenomenal. I am in love with this pattern. I cannot say this enough. I just love everything about it. It's very easy, very beginner friendly. Very, very, very beginner friendly. And then also I like the fact that it's a gathered skirt, but because you have that really wide waistband, you don't have to worry about the gather sitting on your stomach if that's something that you're concerned about. The waistbands, the gathers are below the waist enough that the waistband basically comes up to your high waist, and it's just such a beautiful, beautiful look. I really love it. I made 2 variations of this skirt. The first variation that I made is with this beautiful fabric that I purchased from Joann Fabrics. It's a cream background, and on the foreground you have all these different floral details going throughout the fabric, including floral details that have like pink and dark purple colors. You have sage and a muted blue color, almost like a bluish gray color. You have some yellow, orange type of floral details on there as well. It's just such a beautiful, beautiful fabric. And I was very surprised that Joann is still carrying this. This came out last year in their spring collection, and they're still ordering it at my location. So I'm really happy about that. I was able to get a beautiful top out of this fabric as well after doing the maxi dress. And the top that I made, the first top that I made, is the Simplicity S9469. I just recently did a review for that. If you are interested in learning more about that top, go ahead and click the iCard above and you will go over to see that review. I also made the Mimi G top as well. And with the Mimi G top, I decided to go ahead and give that one to my daughter. She likes it a lot more than I do on her frame. The pattern is really simple and easy. Again, just like the skirt, you have the back pattern piece, you have the front pattern piece, and then you have your facings. It is so simple, so easy. So you only have, for that pattern, you have 4 pattern pieces because you have the front facing, the back facing, and then you have the front and the back, which are 2 different patterns. The back is cut out twice because, again, like I said, you have a little slit, a little opening up at the top of the neckline so you can slip the top on and off. It's such a phenomenal pattern. I am so serious. I cannot believe how easy the pattern is, how basic the pattern is, but how stylish it is as well. So I really like these 2 different garments. I feel like they're very easy to sew, very beginner friendly. Highly recommend them. I like the length of the skirt. However, I would like to play with that skirt and even shorten the skirt. So you don't have any variations in terms of length variations. To me, I felt like I wanted a little bit more out of the pattern in terms of that. I just wanted a shorter pattern. But with that said, it's very easy to shorten a pattern. It just makes it easier when it's already on the pattern, right? But with all that said, it's such a wonderful, wonderful pattern. In terms of the top, like I said, I don't think I would make the top again, even though it's very easy, very beginner friendly. I really recommend it and I like it. I wouldn't make it for my body type just simply because, like I said, it's just a preference. But on my daughter, looks phenomenal. Really love it on her. So for the Simplicity S9550, another thing that I love about this pattern is that Mimi G has a plus size for it. So you can make the regular sizes, which includes the 4 to 22, or you can make the plus size. And I can't remember the size range of the plus size, but I believe it starts with size 24. I'll make sure that I put that here so you can see those sizes. So you do have 2 different envelopes. You have, you know, the smaller size, and then you have a plus size that you can pick up. Again, remember that you can actually watch the sew along for this, which will make it 100 times easier for you when you go to cut the pattern and put your pattern pieces together. The fabric suggestions are you can only use a 60-inch wide fabric for your skirt and for your shorts. And I think even for the top, because you have the long grown on sleeves. So you want to make sure that you have enough fabric that you can actually place it on the pattern pieces on your fabric. So the suggested fabrics are fabrics such as cottons, gauze, linens, and silky type fabrics. You will need your lightweight fusible interfacing for your facing pieces. Let's see here. For my skirt pattern, the skirt pattern for the Mimi G skirt, you have to cut that out 3 times. So you do get a full skirt, and that's why it's so flowy and it moves so beautifully, because you're not cutting out 2 panel pieces for the front and the back. You're actually cutting out 3 panel pieces, and you're sewing those panels up. I will say, make sure that you pay attention to the notches, just simply because you're working with a odd number with your skirt. So you want to make sure that you are paying attention to that, because the side seams of the waistband does not match up with the side seams of the skirt. So make sure that you pay attention to your notches and all that good stuff, so that way you can attach your skirt the way it's intended to be attached. So I really like the shorts, and I want to make the short pattern for the summer, and I'm thinking about doing that. I might lengthen them just a tad, just so that I can get like this skirt type look, so it looks more like a skirt, but they're shorts, and so I think they'll be more comfortable and things like that. So with all of that said, I also want to show you all the different Mother's Day looks that I have been able to create. this year. So without even intending to, I actually created a collection. And the collection that I have created is all within the same color scheme. So I'm going to tell you about that, but let me talk about that second skirt before I forget. So the second skirt I made, this is also a fabric that I purchased from Joann Fabrics, and I purchased this fabric about 3, maybe even 4 years ago. It's a black fabric, and on the face of the fabric you also have floral detail. Love my floral fabrics. But on the face of this fabric, you have like a darker gray. It's really weird because it's a gray on top of black, and you wouldn't think that you could see you know, that gray show up that well, but you do. You also have magenta flowers, pink flowers, white flowers, a little bit of sage. Such a beautiful fabric, and I held on to this fabric so long because I wanted to do it justice. I have 4 yards of fabric, and I knew I wanted to make a matching set, but I didn't know what I wanted to make. I'm so glad that I actually held on to this fabric because I think that this Mimi G skirt is just a phenomenal pattern for this fabric. It's just a wonderful, wonderful skirt. I like the way that it moves. Although it's a crepe fabric, that's another reason why I held on to the fabric, because you all know crepe fabrics and me are not best friends. And so I don't really get along very well. But on the underside of the fabric, you don't have that really rough texture and that crepe feel. And so on my body, I don't really feel it as much. As long as I'm not actually like touching the face of the fabric, which is really hard to do because when you're sitting like this, your body is just naturally going to gravitate towards your garments. But it's not on the underside, and so it's not as irritant. I do love the fabric. I love the drape of the fabric. It's just the texture is a bit off-putting sometimes to me. And again, that's another reason why I put off making something with this particular fabric. But I really do love it. I love it. It's like a love, not hate, but I would say dislike, a love and dislike relationship just because of the texture of the crepe. I purchased this fabric because I loved the print so much, and I know you all can relate. Sometimes you see a print and you love that print so much you think, I can overcome the feelings of you know, the texture of the fabric. 9 times out of 10 that's not true, but I do really love this set that I have created. So the top that I made, again, Simplicity S9469. Make sure that you check the description box below or the iCard above if you want to know more about the top. But yeah, so those are the garments that I made with the Simplicity S9550. So let's talk a little bit about this collection. So I can get about, I would say, maybe 8 to 10 outfits with the collection that I have created. I am so blown away. So I think I used about 3, maybe 4 fabrics, and I can get 10 outfits out of these fabrics, and I used 3 patterns. So I'm just really thrilled. So I used the Simplicity S9550, which I just did the pattern review for. I used the Simplicity S9469, which is the top pattern that I absolutely adore. And I also use the New Look N6605. So with all of those patterns, I was able to get a multiple, you know, of garments. So I was able to get a variation of different, combinations that goes together. I would say my favorite, if I had to choose, would be the Mimi G skirt with this top that I'm wearing. Even though the crepe texture is a little bit annoying, I just love the way that it looks. I love the drape. I love the style. It's a really great garment, guys, and I love this set together. I also love the cream set as well with the floral details going throughout it. I just love how I can actually take all my tops and match them with the solid pre-pleated Fortuny skirt, or I can match them with the matching skirts that I have created for the tops. I believe the only top that does not have a matching piece to it is the dark blue and like the Hawaiian type print. However, I made a skirt a few years ago that actually goes with that top. So although it doesn't go with this Mother's Day collection, it's still it's going to be a matching set. So I'm just really excited with this Mother's Day collection and with all of the different looks that I've been able to achieve with this Mother's Day collection. And it was not intended at all. I just decided that I wanted to use different colors for the pre-pleated skirt that I made. So I wanted to get different fabrics that were similar to that and just make a few tops. I did not intend on making enough tops and enough skirts and things like that to actually make a collection. So I'm really thrilled that I have this new collection and it looks good. And I really recommend these patterns, all three of these patterns that I mentioned. If you want to create a set, I really recommend all three of these patterns. It won't take that much time. With the Simplicity S9469 pattern, you have 2 different patterns within one envelope. So it's not just 2 views, it's 2 different patterns within one envelope. And you can get the V-neck line with the ties, which I'm wearing right now, or you can get the rounded neckline with the keyhole opening with the ties, which is really cute. You have different sleeve length variations, and you can also modify your sleeve like I did. You can modify your sleeve and do the slash and spread method and get a really nice billow bishop type sleeve. Or you can even just spread and slash the shorter version of the sleeve and just get like a flutter sleeve like this here, which is really nice as well. So you have some options there that you can play around with that particular pattern, which I think is really nice. And you can do different variations and still just have the same top. And it's just a fun little top. I also, like I said, with the new Look N6605, very simple, very easy. So simple and easy. You can definitely make a couple of versions of those so that you can go with so that they can go with a few other versions of the tops that you make. And then with your Simplicity S9550, you make a skirt or 2. And again, you have a whole collection there. If you even want to make the top out as the Simplicity 9550, you can do 2 of those tops really quick and easy for summer or for late spring. And then you have, you know, a few tops that you can mash up with your new Look N6605 skirt. So again, very fun collection. I definitely recommend these 3 patterns, and I hope that you will consider thinking about making a few of these. If you do, make sure that you come back to the video and leave a comment in the comment section below and let me know how it turned out for you. If you have any questions or anything like that pertaining to the Mother's Day collection or the Simplicity S9550, please make sure that you leave those comments in the comment section below. I hope you all have a happy and sewing week, and happy Mother's Day, everyone. Until next time, stay creative. Bye.